All right, we're gonna give this a shot as Mia is right over here, probably going to interrupt a few times, but it's all good. I wanted to make like a little video of my story, how I found coaching and what it's done for me physically, mentally, emotionally, all the things. I have been coaching for a year now. My name's Jessica, by the way, if you don't know who I am. I've been coaching for right around a year now. What time? Oh, it is. It has been a year. I actually started not as a coach, and then I signed up for the discount, and then a little bit later I started coaching. But a little bit of backstory. I grew up not wanting to do anything fitness related. So I'm going to talk about the fitness part first. It was like not on my to-do list. I remember specifically saying at one point that I was going to, this was it. This was what was going to happen. I was going to go the rest of my life and I was never going to work out. That was my thing. And I don't know why I said that. And I remember thinking like, it's okay if I die young. Like, I don't want to get old. Like, it's not, I don't care. I'm going to live fast. You know, that was my thing. And I actually, my brother, he has always been into fitness. So we were younger and he would try to get me to work out with him and I just never would. I was like, this is not for me, Jesse. Stop it. And now he's been doing it forever. He's this awesome personal trainer. He's got certifications out the wazoo. He's got nutrition certifications. He helps with pregnancy. He coaches people through competitions. He was the first IFBB pro in men's classic physique, and he could not get me to work out. Okay? My dogs are barking, but it's fine. I actually grew up not really motivated to do anything. Honestly, I have had depression since I was like 12, 13 years old. When I was 15 years old, this is something I've never talked about before, but I started to self-harm. And I did it for 10 years. I did that for 10 years. And then even after I was done doing that, it was, I've got 3 little girls, and everyone always notices that like with each child, my like life would change. But I always battled with not knowing my kind of like my identity, and battling with my self-image and just basically wanting to just party all the time. Yes, you can have some more oranges. That's why I brought you another one. Oh, you ate it all?
Yeah.
Okay. Battling with my self-image. And, it was a big, huge shift for me when Mia was born. And I was a stay-at-home mom, and everything just kind of changed. But at that point, even when she was a few months old and basically all of my baby weight was off, it really wasn't. I was actually 40 pounds heavier than I wanted to be. Almost 40, not quite. And it was weird to me because with my previous 2 girls, I had lost the weight pretty quickly. And I could chalk that up to not eating because, I still didn't like my body at that time, but I at least had lost most of the baby weight with each pregnancy, and mostly because I wasn't eating and I was just working all the time and I was depressed and I was drinking and just doing all the things. And yeah, baby. I never felt my life had much value, and I was confused. I didn't really know what I was going to do with my life. And then after Mia was born and I couldn't get the weight off, it was a huge struggle internally. And even though I wasn't self-harming anymore, I struggled with still feeling value. I did not like my appearance. I didn't understand why I hadn't accomplished anything in all my years. I was 27 at the time, and I started to do yoga. I was like, I just need to do something to make me happy, and I hear yoga's great for that. I did love yoga. I fell in love with it. I still do it. But I followed an account on Instagram, and this was my coach, and she had posted about coaching. And I remember asking her, like, she was like, if I can do it, you can do it too. And I remember reaching out to her, and I was like, well, what is this? But since I had never heard of it, I had never heard of what any of this was whatsoever, I started with just trying it out. I started with doing the programs, and things like that. And there was like a new launch coming out. So I signed up to start with a new program. And it was called 80 Day Obsession. And I still, to this day, that was my soulmate program. It was actually kind of a challenging one. And for somebody who was eating fast food like twice a day, someone who did not want to work out, like even when I did yoga, it was like 10 minutes a day, twice a week. That was it. I was just not interested in fitness. And I was trying all the quick fixes, like trying them all. And my boyfriend probably is mad because I spent a lot of money on these things. And I signed up with this, which ended up costing almost nothing. You'd be surprised. It is so cheap, and I was like, all right, let's do it. So I just signed up. I waited till my first program was going to start. I started my first program, and it changed my life. A week in, I remember thinking there have been times where I haven't been wanting to do it, haven't felt motivated, but my coach and all of the ladies in her accountability groups really encouraged me, and I kept going. And I was like so blown away that I told my coach, I was like, I actually signed up. I switched to coach for just the discount, not to coach, and then I switched to actually coaching. And I remember it was a year ago that I signed up for the discount. It wasn't even just for the discount. I wanted to be in the test group for the program, and that was really what gave me that push. I was in there with the trainer who started it. So who made the program, I mean. So then I started coaching, and baby, I have to go and get you some more. So I'll get you some more in just a second, okay?
Can you give me some more chips on the floor?
We have some in the fridge. I'll get it for you in just a second, okay?
Okay.
Can you wait 1 second? Can you wait 1 second? Okay. So, you want my pistachios?
Yeah.
You have to open it.
Oh yeah, you have to open it. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you do.
Yeah. Can I open it?
You have to eat it.
Can I open it?
You gotta open this one.
Can I open it?
Don't eat it, the shell, okay? My legs are hurting. So I'm gonna have to cut that part out. And that was basically how it happened. I had experienced firsthand what this, being a part of this community, being a part of what we do, being part of our mission. I had experienced it firsthand, taking somebody who didn't have a lot of time, who had all the excuses, who did not have any interest in even trying, and turning her into somebody who loves fitness, who dropped half her body fat percentage, who lost almost 40 pounds.
Where's the hat?
It's a hut? Here.
Yeah.
Here you go. Drink some water. Right there now? Okay. Does that work still? And here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, don't eat it if it's too hot.
Can you open it? I can't
That one's
it.
open, I think.
This one open.
No, it's not open. It's not.
Can you open it?
Well, they're all hot. So I don't think you want them. Here. They're all hot, so I don't think you want them. So
Oh, can you open this one?
you've got to be kidding me.
Yummy. That's so yummy.
Okay, great. I totally forgot what I was saying now because Mia just needs something all the time. So I started coaching, and I didn't really dive in fully right away. I was just kind of playing around with it and just kind of like inviting my friends, and I was like, hey guys, look at what this is. And I was showing them everything, and I was telling them, and they were seeing my results. And so that was really how I started. And I was earning like a bunch of rewards. Like I would just win free shit all the time, and I thought that was the coolest thing. I've never been like recognized really like at any job I've ever had. I've always been in like the food service industry, and it's always, you guys know, it's but somebody who doesn't, here. And now here we are a year later. I've ranked 3 times.
Yeah.
I have ranked 3 times. I remember starting out, and I was like, if I can change one person's life from this, it will be worth it. And I've done that and so much more, and it feels good. And I love being part of a company whose mission is very clear. That I remember I went to my first live event recently, and they said that we built this business on transformations, not transactions. And that was huge for me, because for one thing, I can't sell anything. If I had to sell something, like, I always told people no, like, I can't, because I can't sell. So I was like, this is all I'm doing is sharing how much I love everything and how much it works for me. And it's that simple. And I love this. And I love that we get to help people. And, you know, I make money weekly now, and I've been a stay-at-home mom for 4 years. So that's huge for me, you know. It's been a crazy journey, but I can't even begin to tell you guys, one of our vital behaviors is that we have to, it's called vital behaviors, is that we do this thing called personal development. So we listen to like podcasts or like self-help books, or read self-help books, or listen to them on Audible, or whatever the case may be. And I used to be against that. I thought that was cheesy. But my coach had told me about one book, and I was like, okay, I'll listen to that book. It sounds pretty cool. It's called You're a Badass. Let's listen to it. So I listened to it, and I was actually blown away by like how inspired I was by it, how much it motivated me, and how much it made me realize, like, dude, you are worthy. You totally deserve all the things. You can do anything you want to do. And I had so many aspirations growing up that I just never followed through with. And now it's like I follow through with everything. I have a certification. Like I said, I ranked 3 times. I make money weekly. Like I'm doing everything, and I feel like my team is going to do so many big things and help so many people, and it makes me so happy. And so it's just, not only did I get a physical transformation from this, but I can't even begin to tell you how much happier it's made me as a person. Like how much I've grown because of it, how good it feels to have a community of other women and men, there are men too, doing the same thing and on the same mission and encouraging you, and everyone is just so uplifting, and it feels so good. And I couldn't imagine not being part of this anymore. And I gotta tell you, being an entrepreneur is pretty cool. It's not easy. It's pretty simple, like all the things you have to do. It's really not that hard, but it doesn't mean that it just comes naturally. It does require work, and it does feel good though. Like I manage my own business. I am an entrepreneur. I am a stay-at-home mom who has her own business and works from home, and it feels good. And I still have time for family, and I still have time for everything. And I know what the potential is in this business, and I'm telling you guys, like I am going to be reaching all the goals that I want to reach. But the reason I'm sharing this is because this wasn't something that I would have ever believed in if I hadn't experienced it for myself. And I know that there are other people who need this, like really do need this, because my life changed, like with my children, and when me and Chris got together and I became a stay-at-home mom and everything, my life changed, but the way I looked at myself hadn't changed. And this is the last year was the first year in my entire life that I really felt like I could do anything, and I felt so powerful, and my mental health is the best it has ever been in my entire life. And that's like a big deal to me. You know, it's more than just my physical transformation. Like this business really did change my life. I know that sounds cheesy, but I'm telling you guys, this has been the best thing that's ever happened to me, other than my kids, obviously. But that's my story. I'm sorry if there's like parts that are like edited out, because I had to go through and edit it because Mia just always needed something. But that's my story. I wanted to share that. And there it is. Okay.